I teach people how to easily grow loads of healthy, nutritious, flavorful microgreens. That way they can enjoy things like this and take just a tiny fraction of those and grow them out to baby greens and even mature plants. It'll save you lots of money in the long run. Today we're going to show you how to put together 9 of these in only 15 minutes. Not a lot of time to get this process started. And stick around, I got a deal for you. Alright, it's about 100 degrees outside, so we're going to grow a little bit of microgreens indoors. So I'm going to put 9 of them together because I've got a little area over here. I'm going to set them up over there. I got 10, and I've already planted one out because I wanted to try something a little different. We're going to use these takeout trays. And for those of you that are trying to get away from plastic, you can use glass containers, but we're going to give this a try because we're using gravel with this one, and gravel tends to be a little heavier, as does the sand. If you're using clay pebbles, the glass works just fine. So when you saw me put together the ones in the shade house, it was a bunch of glass containers, a bunch of glass baking dishes, and with the weight of the baking dish and the gravel, it got kind of heavy. Now we got another little trick here where we're going to use less gravel, and that's why I tested one out first. And what we're going to do is put it together a little different. So I'm going to put 9 of these together. I want you to see how quick we put it together. I'm not going to be racing and everything. I'm just going to plant them like I normally would do. And we're going to go ahead and do this a little different. Now if you remember, if you've seen in all my videos, what we do is we put the adapter in here first, and we put a little bit of water or your nutrient solution in to come up past the hole there. And then that way you'll have enough in the bottom, so when you put your nutrient solution in here and you flip it in, all of it doesn't come out of here and fill up the bottom. So that way you'll have this as full as possible when you get started. Now what we're going to do different is we're going to put this in here first. We're going to put our gravel in there, and we're just going to pour a little bit of nutrients, because I found out the way I used to do was put this in, fill water up past that opening, and when I put the gravel in or sand, it would displace that water and actually raise it up. And we want to keep as little as possible in the bottom so that we don't have to have a huge amount of gravel or sand because it's really heavy, right? So what we're going to do is put it in here first with this, and then we're going to pour a little bit of nutrients in here just so we cover the bottom of that. And then we're going to cover it. I went ahead and cut a hole in here that the bottle fits through, and this fits through here, right? So we're going to put that on there, and we're not going to fill this up yet. So you can either put it in there just to have it in place so when you need it, it's going to be there. Or when you get started, if you just want to get a little bottle cap from a water bottle and set it on there, just cover it up, you can do that. What we're going to do is, I've got all my bottles ready here. We're not going to fill these up yet. We're just going to set that in there. We're going to let the plants germinate. And once they sprout, we'll be able to take the bottle off. It's empty. If it was full, you would pull this off, and all of these nutrients would go in there and flood everything, right? And then we'll be able to take this lid off. Then we'll fill this up, set it on there just like that. Alright, so you see the process if you're a little confused right now. But I wanted to have as small an opening here as possible, so I've got that to where this fits through, right? And if I wanted to pull this up over everything, if I filled this up at first, and then I can't pull that out until it empties, I can't get that on there, I have to cut a bigger hole in there, and then when it slid down around here, it would be a bigger opening. So there'd be a big opening, a big gap around there. And what I want is a smaller gap around there so that this acts like a humidity dome and it keeps the moisture in there. We need as much help as we can get because the gravel is not porous and it's not going to hold on to the moisture in the very beginning while your seeds germinate. So this way we'll be able to get the lid off when we need to. Let's go ahead and do this. This is just our first experiment. You know, we're always trying different things, so if this works, it works, and if not, we'll try something else. Alright, let's go ahead and put 9 of these together. What we've done is, I've got 9 bottoms. I already went through and cut the little hole for those. You can cut that with a little pair of scissors. I just took a little round cookie cutter, heated it up, and just melted a little hole in the bottom. We've got water. so that we're going to spritz it. We've got our bottles, we've got our adapters. This is the one for the long neck bottles. If you want to use a bigger container and grow more microgreens, like a 1020 tray with a lid on it, you can do that, and you can use the mason jar or one of our other adapters, but we're just going to do this for right now. We've got our nutrient solution, and what I'm using here is MaxiGrow by General Hydroponics. If you guys are interested in it, it's easier to use than the Master Blend, which you have to go ahead and mix calcium nitrate and Epsom salt with it. This, if you're just growing leafy greens, which we're going to be growing tatsoi, you don't need all of that. With this mix, all you do is mix 2 teaspoons of the MaxiGrow in 1 gallon of water. Very easy. So I'll link to that down in the description. And we've got our seeds. Bunch of tatsoi. This is black night mustard tatsoi. And last but not least, we've got some gravel. Now this is just plain pea gravel. We're going to try some aquarium gravel. There's a lot of different things that look pretty cool. This we had to really rinse it out, but we've used this once already, washed it, let it sit in the sun. If you look close, you can see some of the little tiny roots from the last one are still there. You know, there's not a whole lot, but a little bit of debris in there. It's not going to bother anything. So we're going to go ahead and use that. I've got a bucket of it down here. All right, let's quit talking. Let's put this together, and we're not going to speed this up so that you guys can see us going through the whole process. All right, so let's quit talking and put these together. You can do this one at a time if you like. I like to get in a little rhythm. I used to work in the hospitality industry for years, and many of you out there have done the same. And you guys know that you do a lot of prep, whether you're prepping meals or you're prepping for the next day. And there's not a whole lot of things that you do just one at a time. You usually do a whole lot at a time, and you get a little system going. So we've got 9 of those. Next thing, we just get our adapters. You go into our Etsy store. It's Mike Van Doozy on Etsy. Make sure it says Mike Van Doozy and it's not one of the people that are copying us. Just set those in there. And these are all buy one get one free right now. Also, we're going to be looking at Whatnot. It's an auction site, and we're going to be doing auctions with these. It's going to be pretty cool because we can package up like different sets, the hybrids or the refillables or a mix of different things. We can add giveaways. We can maybe put seeds or some of the hydroponic nutrients, you know, toss a sample in there. But we can do anything and then have like people bidding on it. It'll be pretty cool. But this is what we're going to do is put those in there first. Now, the old way we used to go ahead and get the nutrients and just pour it in here, right? We're not going to do that yet. We're going to go ahead and fill these with gravel. And what we're going to do is just make sure that we go up past the little opening here. That's the level that the water is going to stay at, right, when you put the bottle in there. So we're going to go up past that just a little bit. Now you want to do that because you don't want this waterlogged all the time. What you want is the top layer of gravel to be dry, so that once it starts to dry out and the roots go down towards the water, the top layer stays dry, and that's going to cut down on any of your mold issues. So I'm just going to be bending up and down. If you guys have another table, you can pick it up, but I got a huge bucket of gravel down here. It's just how we get our exercise, right? I'm just going to go through and put about one little cupful like this on each side. And if I need to put a little more in, I'll come back and put a little more. But you can see if you get everything all set up, how quick this can go. And this will be 9. Some of you may not need that much. You may only need like 4, and then 3 or 4 days later plan out 4 more. So you'll see it won't even take half the time of what we're doing. Now someone brought up a good point with these little bits of gravel. Be very careful when you go ahead and harvest them. Make sure your microgreens grow up tall enough so you're not cutting down near the gravel. You don't want to get a little piece of this in with your food and bite on any of that, right? So make sure your microgreens grow up pretty tall where you can cut them. Don't try to cut down near close to that, because some of this, the microgreens will actually push a little bit of this up, like a little piece of that. It can actually push it up. So do that and make sure you wash it out real good. Have a big bowl of water, swish it around, that way your microgreens float. Any little residue of this will sink to the bottom. So you can see, even with me running my mouth, this is not going to take a whole lot of time. See that? A couple of the roots from the last one. Alright, now what we're going to do is go in here and we want to make sure we're at least trying to keep that in the center. Okay? Shake it up a little. Alright, now a quick test. Make sure we're in the center. Right? Right. Now what we're going to do is take our nutrients, like we said, Max Grow from General Hydroponics, 2 teaspoons per gallon. I mix this in a big 5-gallon bucket, so I have more for my other plants, my other hydroponics. If you use one of these, this is 3 quarts, it's not a gallon, so just a little bit less. Now all I'm going to do is go in here and look inside of here. If you look in there, you can see where the opening is, right? So I'm going to start pouring the liquid till it comes up a little past that. There's a little ridge right there that the bottle top is going to sit on. You want to go ahead and fill it up right to that ridge, which is just right above that little opening. It's right about in there. So we'll do that real quick. You got your gravel all over the place. Now if you were smart, you could go ahead and measure this out, and then you could go ahead and just get a measuring cup and you know about how much to put in, but this is the first time we're doing it like this. So we're just playing it by ear. So now we've got a little bit in the bottom. But right now the plants aren't even going to need this because they don't have any roots, right? But this is going to serve a couple of purposes. When we go ahead and pull this out, once the seeds have germinated, we're going to fill these up with the nutrients and then take it and just set it in there like that. You're going to have a little in the bottom already so that all your nutrients don't come out of here, right? So that way you're going to put it in there and have almost a full bottle. It might go down a little bit, but it won't go down very much. The other reason is that that's going to keep a little moisture in there, so when it heats up, it's like really hot here, your humidity dome on here, it's going to heat up and it's going to form condensation on here and it'll drip back down, so you won't have that much moisture escaping from here, and you'll get a little bit of moisture keeping the top of this, your seeds, a little bit damp. So if that does it, what you're going to want to do is just check on it, and if it's fine, just leave it. If you're using the foil like we did before, I don't even do anything to it. I let it sit for about 3 days and come back and uncover it. I don't even need to check on it. But this, because there's a little opening here and it's hot, it can evaporate through there, and the gravel is not porous, so it can go ahead and dry out on you. So you want to go ahead and keep your seeds damp during germination. This is just plain water. You can put a little bit of your nutrient solution in there if you want, but this is just for your plants to go ahead and germinate. We're just getting this all damp. If you just rinsed out all of your gravel and it's wet, you can skip this step. But mine's been washed off and sitting in the sun for about 3 or 4 days, so it's pretty dry. All right, nice and easy. See how quick that is? And this is me running my mouth. All right, now we're gonna get some seeds. I got the tatsoi, like I said, this is Black Knight. I want to tear my bag apart. Oh, here's my cup. Okay, I'm going to get some seeds. We're going to come in, just sprinkle some on there. You don't want to get too dense, but you don't want to be too stingy either. Since I've been doing this several years, what's that, 1 pinch? I got 2 pinch, just about like that. And I'll bring you guys in for a close-up once we're done here. Alright, so now I'm just going to go around and do this. The one thing I like about the gravel, besides, like I said, it's going to keep the top dry, but it's a lot smaller openings than your clay pebbles. So smaller seeds like this tatsoi and pak choi, kale, cabbage, it helps hold it up on top. A lot of them don't fall through to the bottom. So a lot of people were saying that about the clay pebbles, that a lot of their seeds would fall through to the bottom. What I found out is when I washed them out, when we were done harvesting, wherever I poured the water, we'd get some more sprouts. And just like that. Now with the seeds, you guys are going to want to buy in bulk. If you're going to buy little seed packets, there's no way you'll do this, right? It would just cost way too much. You buy in bulk. Check out Josh Shaver and his wife. They have a seed company, Buy Bulk Seeds. And I don't think they have this tatsoi. I got this tatsoi from True Leaf Market. But I got some other stuff from Josh. The peas. We had a post on that. We're going to be eating a whole lot of pea shoots. You guys are going to see us growing a whole lot. Keely's going to be juicing them, putting them in recipes and that. So we're going to have a bunch of those growing. We got that from, it used to be Greener Harvest Seeds. But it's buybulkseeds.com. So you can see with me running my mouth, like I said, I've already got these all planted out. Now I'm going to take these, put them right back in here. Alright, now what we want to do is give it one more spritz. It's sitting on the bottom is wet. We can go ahead and get everything all damp. Now how quick was that? This is about ready to go. At this point, if you're doing it my old way, you can put foil on here. But like we said, we went ahead and did this. Now we're going to go ahead and set those on. and you have your own little humidity dome. Some of the commercial garden ones are getting kind of expensive. You can get a pack of 50 of these on Amazon. I've also seen them up at the Dollar General and the Dollar Tree. Just like that. Now I'm just gonna, like I said, if you're going over, you can either just set a cap on top. We have little water caps. You can go like that. Just set that on top. Cover that little bit with a little foil if you want. I'm going to go ahead and set our bottles on there. You can see these look a little cloudy because we've used them several times. I think we've been using these about a year. So all I'm going to do is take these and just set them right inside, just like that. Some of these had ginger beer. Some had Heineken. Some had root beer. What's that one? Reed's makes a root beer or something too. It's pretty good. And you can always go ahead and decorate your bottles if you want to make everything look kind of cool. It's just a little sticker you can put on there. Now they're ready. I've got my bottles in place. Then when I come in, and if these guys are germinated and I need to pull the top off, you can pull the bottle out. Pull this off. Fill this up with your nutrients and then just dump it in there just like that. So when we get to that point, I'll bring you back. That's going to be about 3 or 4 days. You guys come back. I'm going to set these up over here. We'll get those germinated, and then we're going to go ahead and pull the tops off, cut the lights on them. Right now, the first 3 days, we don't even need the lights on. So this is just going to sit here in the dark. It's in our work area. If I need to, I can just throw a curtain up over the top since these are clear. But I'm just going to see how they go ahead and do because we're not in here all day long. When we leave, we cut the lights off. So there's minimal amount of light during the day. It's just come in and turn the printers on and walk out. Alright, so if you guys can see how quick that is to put together 9 of these, and basically you guys have seen all the stuff I've grown out in the shade house, so you kind of have an idea of how much microgreens this is going to be in about 7 to 10 days. Like we said, all of these right now, buy one get one free, my Etsy shop. You can either say BOGO, or you can go ahead and check my link in the description, or my profile, whatever you're watching this on, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, we're all over the place, right? So, we'll catch you next time. Check back. We're going to go through the process of this germinating, and then we'll come back and we'll go ahead and harvest some up, clean out the containers, and start all over again. All right, live to inspire, keep on growing, be the change. We'll catch you next time.